I'm Paul Brown. I'm here at the Blade Show. I'm with Brimstone Knives. I'm season 4, episode 4 runner-up. Working with Burr King this week. Try to show you off a little bit of what these things can do. These are incredible machines. You look around, a lot of these big guys around here, that the big name knife makers. We've got Heretic, we've got Microtech, we've got Medford right here behind us, Greg Medford. All these guys started out with the Burr King. These are the top of the line as far as grinders go. They're smooth, they're quiet. If you don't believe that, go try to find a used one. That was how I got into a Burr King. Wanted to start making knives, looked for a used one, could not find one. And the ones I did find were new price. So I just went ahead and bought a new one and loved them, and here I am working with them. We're going to do here a little bit as a demonstration with the top of the line model here. This thing does it all. This is right now I'm set up to do a taper tang on this particular blade. Try to give a little bit of a narrowing on this. This is just a blank that's been cut out at 1095.
Can I interrupt for just a second and ask you a question for those who are unfamiliar?
Sure.
What are the different components that make up this machine, the working faction, and like the features that it has? Like, what all can be done on this? You can do just about anything on here except drill a dadgum hole for a knife. This is a kind of a one-stop shop. If you want to make a knife smooth with the surface grinder here, you can make it smooth. Again, you can taper the tang. You can put a distal taper in if you want to. What you'll do after that, you can stand up, grind in your bevels right here. This machine will rotate around. All these machines are pretty much the same. I've got a few others down there that have been already rotated around. Set up with the it looks like an 8-inch wheel and a flat platen down there, and then a smaller grinder on the far end. Can you put a platen behind these?
Yeah, there's one right there. Well, there's a platen right here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, right there. See?
There you go. And this goes in both directions?
You can get these in forward and reversible. So it's really nice to, if you want to go in the other direction, do a little sharpening, that's fine.
And it's a standard size belt holder? It holds
standard size 2-inch by 72-inch belt. One thing I like about a Burr King is you can grab another belt, change grits in just a few seconds. You're ready to go with your next grit.
Do you have to do anything, for those of us who don't know, to make that like not wobble and to make it not slide back and forth left or right?
As far as what now?
Sometimes I've seen on sanders where like maybe the belt actually can move this way and that way on
well, you
the
can,
wheel.
You can adjust. You can adjust your tracking here.
Okay.
And this is simple little dial right here. You look right here. This is just a little bit to that far side. Move it that way.
Nice.
And you can move it back. You line it right up where it needs to be. Cover your belt. Cover your platen. Cover your pulley. This is a variable speed machine. Most often I'll grind, with it wide open. You start doing something like, you have to do ivory, very sensitive to heat. So you turn your speed way down, it'll crawl. You won't generate near as much heat if you use a new belt. Old belts will remove material, but they create a lot of heat by grinding it off. New belt cuts it off, and you slow it down, and it works just fine like that. So what we have here, this platen pivots on this point back here. And I have a free calculator that Burr King shows that you can download in an app. You simply measure the thickness of your steel, come up with the thickness of a tang that you want to end up with, how long the particular blade is or how long the handle is, and it tells you what size of a shim. This particular shim was around a 131, and so I just came up with enough shims here to come up with pretty close to that. So I'm at 131 right here, so that's perfect. And I'll stick that in here like this. This swivels up, you push it down and bring it to there, and then you grind off that part quick and easy. So now I've got my first side done.
So is that magnetic? How is this thinking?
This is a magnetic plate, platen.
Okay.
You can see all the steel that I took off of there.
Yep. Wow.
So I've got one side done, and I'll just flop it over. You ready to do the other side? So I've ground off that angle, and at this point, you turn it over, you've got an angle that you didn't have. It was parallel.
Sure.
So typically, you need to come up with the. I lost my tool there. Twice of what your first angle was.
Absolutely.
From here to here
Yep.
is the distance. From here to here is twice that distance. So again, we use the same set of feelers. Pop this in here. There's my 131. Crank that down just a little bit so it doesn't grab. So this works really good for a one-off. And we have a nice little narrow taper here on the handle.
Yep. Oh, wow.
So that took me, what, a couple of minutes? So if you have 100 of these,
Wow.
you can set up, do one side,
On all of
readjust your machine, do the other side.
Would you typically
And you can
have
become-
done, like all one side on all the knives since
Right.
it's already set?
Right. You'll just do the whole set. If you've got a set that matches, they're all something that you've cut out. So you can go from having just a grinder in the garage to having a production shop, right out of your garage with this one machine. You can start, and if you want,
Would it be rude to ask what something on this level would cost to own?
I think we have a show price of about $6,500 on this right now. Like I said, it does so many things.
Does everything. I can build.
It really does.
anything.
You can build so many things with this. You've got a piece that's too wide. This machine will move back and forth to cover however much you need, however much of your platen here you need. You can also loosen these bolts here. You can rotate this entire assembly, and so that you have a horizontal belt instead of a vertical belt.
Wow.
We have
All right.
we have platens in 12, 24,
Wow.
and for those of you who like to do the swords, here's a 36-incher.
Well, I happen to have seen a person make for himself a platen that had a bevel that could go like behind this to kind of bow it out.
Right?
Is that something that's purchasable, or is that something that has to kind of be made?
It could be, but you don't have to.
Okay.
This particular platen, and I don't have my wrench here, both of these the platen will rotate. And we have a setup here that,
So what I meant by it actually was more like, I don't want to make sure I get my hand behind
Sure.
this, was that it made it bow out like this and stay out here. So that way the entire time it was spinning,
okay.
it had the point was further out and he could get below.
Oh, sure.
So that's something you just have to make. They don't sell those, I guess.
I don't know that we sell them. Oh, you could probably just simply adjust this out if you wanted to. It might be a little hard on your belt,
Okay. But that is adjustable behind it, the platen.
James, throw me a T-hand. Oh wait, here it is. Never mind. So like I said, if you've got a bevel here, there's your bevel,
Okay.
and your blade will go on here, and you can put, if you've got a
specific angle
angle you want, you can put that. Again, you decide, you calculate that distance, and you'll put it right here.
Okay.
So that, let's say this is the angle we want. There, it's repeatable every time.
There you go.
So you want to do the other side. Again, you calculate your angle,
Wow.
So here's your angle for the other side.
That's amazing. I really appreciate you taking the time for the channel.
Good to see you.
Explain the product. I hope you have a great blade show.
Hey.
Mine is awesome. This is definitely not a dull moment.
Never a dull moment here.
And what's the do we have some of your work, like the knife from the show?
Yeah, my work, the Macraca that I made is over there at the Epic booth with a few other guys. I think there's about 7 or 8 guys. I think Paige is over there, and I saw Dustin earlier today, and there's about 5 or 6 guys over there. Brian Ragnot is over there.
Definitely try to add a shot to that if you can.
Sure.
I appreciate you so much.
All righty, thank you, sir.
All right, buddy.
Have a good time at the show, bud.
All right, I appreciate it. My first time here.